Ohana 101, hero, villain, victim. This is one of the key foundational concepts that anyone can just walk into their life right here, right now, today, and apply. In simple terms, the hero is the one who makes it better. The villain is the one who makes it worse. The victim is the one for whom it is made worse. And in this idea of hero, villain, victim, it has to do when a problem shows up. Problems, the way I use the word problem, is a problem means something bad will happen if you don't solve it. Closely related to problems is a challenge. A challenge is something good will happen if you overcome the challenge. But challenges are optional because nothing bad happens. If something's purely a challenge, and it's not both, if it's just purely a challenge, those are optional. If you want things to be better in that way, then you go tackle that challenge. If you want things better in a different way, you go tackle the challenge related to whatever particular way you want it better. But when there's a problem, that means something either has already been made worse, is in the process of being made worse, or is likely to be made worse soon because this problem exists. Now, the definition of a problem is something with a solution. If there's no solution, it's not a problem. It's a fact of life. You adapt to a fact of life, you solve a problem. Now, sometimes you have particular types of problems that are connected to facts of life. And what you're looking for is where is the problem, because wherever the problem is where the solution is. And in particular, as you're looking at something that might seem like it's a fact of life, there might be a problem connected to the fact of life because it's not the thing that happened is the problem because there's nothing you can do about it. It's the current situation. And maybe the fact of life led to the current situation, and there could be another problem connected to that in that there are future events of a similar nature that could continue to occur if you don't put some kind of a procedure, protocol, standard operating procedure in place. So we have something bad happening. We have some kind of a negative outcome that's producing an outcome that we would like to have stop, reverse, not repeat. In some way, shape, or form, there's a problem to solve. Very often when that happens, there's someone who wants to make it better, and there's someone who's the source of the problem, and they're the ones who made it worse, and then there's the victim, and that's whoever has that negative stake occurring in it. And so there could be one or more victims where it is legitimately being made worse for them. Here's the hero, villain, victim, Ohana 101 approach. If I have a problem and I think it's with you, because say the problem came into us through you. Well, if I treat you like the villain, if we have a 1 hour meeting, I spend the first 30 minutes arguing with you why you're bad, this is your fault, and I'm jumping on you as the villain, and I spend half an hour trying to convince you you're the villain. What am I likely to do next? Ask you or demand from you or try to force you in some way to make it better. Well, that's the hero role. If I want you in the hero role, why would I waste all that time and energy convincing you you're the villain? And by the way, here gets to be a negative side effect of this. What if I win? What if I am so powerful in my argument that you're the villain that you believe me? And now I'm asking you to abandon the role, abandon the identity I just spent half an hour arguing with you for, and now I want you to reverse the role and take the other side. In which case, why was I wasting my time there too? And if I've convinced you, now I'm trying to get you to act opposite the identity I just reinforced with you, which then means this role is harder to sustain. When you put all of this stuff together, why would I spend time on villain? When really what I want is the hero. What I want is the one making it better. So how about I just start off at making it better? So if I want to make it better, hero role, I want you to make it better, I'm recruiting you for the hero role, who's the villain? It doesn't have to be a villain. And we are very conditioned that someone has to be the villain here. The villain is the problem. Because if I have a relationship with you and we don't have the problem, do I want the relationship with you? Well, the fact that we have one says probably yes. What if it wasn't with you? What if it was somebody else, but it had the same problem? Would I be happy with the problem if it came through somebody else? Probably not. That tells you that the problem is the problem. The person is part of my solution to the problem. And depending on the nature of the problem, if we're trying to work something through, there's a whole process to that. But it just begins with this collaboration. How do we work together to solve the problem? How do we band together as the heroes to do battle and overcome the villain that's the problem? So then nobody is left being a victim. Nobody is left with things made worse for them by this villain problem, because the people, heroes, have come together and as Ohana, as family, as a team, as collaborators, as a cooperative force, work together to overcome the problems. And then we make our lives better and we build relationship because now we're on the same side. I like being able to be on the same side with my Ohana. Hero, villain, victim. Be the hero, recruit other people to be the hero, solve the problem.